before he learned that his brother Jace had committed suicide. Dak said that he knew his brother had a lot of burdens on him, and the Cowboys quarterback encouraged others to open up and share their struggles with loved ones around them. Shannon, what are your thoughts on Dak being so open and honest?
Good for him. Suicide is something that's very personal to a family. A lot of times people try to keep that under wraps because of how...
Now, if I get this straight, he said he went through this period because of the pandemic and the quarantine before his brother committed suicide. Okay, just for the record.
Right, yes.
He didn't say he was depressed because...
No. He was depressed because of, as you mentioned, the quarantine.
Yes.
But he says his brother's been dealing with things.
That's a whole nother... Yeah,
right.
Okay.
But I'm saying the reason why I believe Dak is opening up about this is because...
Okay, that's fine.
He felt that because his brother never opened up, he never came to grips with what transpired with his mom because he was home watching what the cancer was doing to her. And he really never opened up about it. And Dak says, I don't want to travel down that road. I want to share with someone what's going on with me and that I wasn't in a very good place. And I think the thing is, Skip, is that him opening up about it. Because we didn't know. We just thought it was just natural causes. And I guess some people knew. Obviously, the coroner knew, but that's information that you're not getting out. And how TMZ wasn't able to get this information because they get everything. But for me, Skip, for Dak to share that information, clearly that's tough. They're a very close family. If I'm not mistaken, Skip, it's all boys. And I think this was a family affair because in the commercials that you see Dak, I think Campbell's Chunky Soup, Skip, is his brothers. And they do a lot of things. They're all involved in Dak's affairs. And I can imagine the anguish, the toil that it took on Dak because, you know, like, man, we're finally starting to reach that plateau where we're growing up and, you know, thinking about what we're going to be and how we're going to do this for mom. And here we are finally starting to do this. And it just goes to show you, Skip, you never know what a person's going through. And no matter how good you might think it is, because you look at where Dak is ascending to, and there's no question that he's taking care of his brothers, he was dealing with something that money couldn't, you know, fame couldn't get him out of.
Yep.
And Dak says, you know, and say my brother had some issues that he didn't seem to be willing to open up and share and talk about. And Dak says, that's not something that I want to do. I want to share it. I want to talk about it. I don't want to be in that dark place anymore. Because I can imagine, you know, going from COVID to brother suicide. Man, Skip, that's a lot on the young man's plate.
Okay. All well said from you. All very good points. I'm going to disqualify myself right up front on this question. I'm the wrong one to ask about this when it comes to him as the face of that franchise of America's team. I'm going to ask our audience to feel free to go ahead and condemn me if you choose as cold-blooded and insensitive on this issue. I have deep compassion for clinical depression, but when it comes to the quarterback of an NFL team, you know this as well as better than I do. It's the ultimate leadership position in sports. Am I right about that? You are commanding an entire franchise. What's the roster now? Is it 53 still?
53, but I think they got like 15 practice squad guys.
Okay. But you're commanding a lot of young men and some older men. And they're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out. Look, he's the quarterback of America's team. And you know and I know, this sport that you play, it is dog eat dog. It is no compassion, no quarter given on the football field. If you reveal publicly any little weakness, it can affect your team's ability to believe in you in the toughest spots, and it definitely can encourage others on the other side to come after you. You throw an interception, you're going to hear, you depressed number 4? You know, get that sort of thing. You get sacked. How did that feel? You getting down about it? You just can't go public with it, in my humble opinion. So now I got to declare who have I always been. I grew up I had a rough childhood, broken home, just soaked with alcohol. I had some really low moments in my childhood. And I just kept fighting. I fought through every one of them. I've had some low moments professionally where some dark times happened, and you've been through it too. And you know and I know, you just fight. You got to fight back. You can't give in to the depression. You try to rise above it because it's just how you're built. It's how I'm built.
Right.
I believe it's how that man is built. Rise above it. I got to tell you, it's been a long time since I was more stunned by quotes than what he told, I think it was Graham Benzinger in the interview that's going to air tonight, maybe?
I think the thing is, Skip, is that, like you always tell me, you like to place yourself in that position.
I do.
And you probably wouldn't have shared what Dak shared.
You just can't for the good of your franchise and your football team, and in the end,
what good,
your own psyche.
But what good is that, Skip, if you don't share it, but you're dealing with it internally?
You just got to. I get what you're saying. Sometimes it's better just to get it out.
Yes, and that's what he said.
Okay. I just don't know if you're the quarterback of America's team, a team that I think has got a shot to get to this year's Super Bowl, certainly got a shot to win the division and make the playoffs, which they did not do last year.
Skip,
you can't go public with that, even though you say this could help a lot of people out there who are truly suffering from a clinically diagnosed depression.
Skip, I think the thing is that you have to understand. I understand that he plays quarterback. He's the face of a franchise. But at the end of the day, I'll take all that away. He's still human. And there's a human element of this. And sometimes people think because we play this sport, because we're good at a sport, we don't have feelings, we don't have emotions. He's human. He's human. And think about this. It got so bad, his brother was dealing with something that he took his life. I would rather Dak share. I mean, because we've seen, we've seen athletes take their lives, Skip, because they're dealing with things. And because they didn't feel or they felt, and maybe they felt the same way what you're feeling right now. Man, I can't share this. I can't share this. I can't deal with this. I don't want anyone to know what I'm going through.
Talking about, you can share it internally. You can go see a psychiatrist if you need to. You can get all kinds of counseling. You can share it with some of your closest teammates. Call up Zeke. Let's go sit and talk it through. I need to let you know what I was feeling. But we all went through COVID, some sort of depression.
But we handle things differently, Skip. Look, I'll give you a prime example. Okay, you can take boiling water. And now boiling water will harden the egg. It will soften the potato. Water, same thing. Boiling. Harden the egg, soften the potato. So you can't say because one way somebody handled it one way, that's the right way. Someone handled it the other way, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way to look at it.